Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. I'm Brian, and with me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
I think we have absolutely nothing planned to talk about, as usual.
We're gonna open some toys up.
Yes, I've got a little stack of stuff here to open up.
Well,
And I think it would be remiss if we didn't at least talk about the new G.I. Joe classified announcements, though.
um, you should also review Dune 2 because you saw it and I haven't seen it yet. And I saw the first Dune on your recommendation. As soon as they announced that Dune Part 2 was going to happen,
Yeah,
I went to go see Dune Part 1. I didn't see it right away, even though you had already recommended it, because I didn't want it to be a situation where for whatever reason the first part doesn't make quite enough or the
right.
production is a disaster. Before like if they started the second one without announcing it because there were production problems, I didn't want a cancellation thing because you're do you remember the Divergent series?
Uh, very, like, just that it was a thing.
Yeah, there were three books and they were going to make it into four movies, and the the second part of the last movie never happened.
Wow.
So if you were invested in those movies, there was no resolution because the the last the last movie um didn't make quite as much as I think they were hoping for, but they also had like budget issues and shit like that. So they basically cut it before they got too far into it. So there was no resolution. So I went to go see Dune Part One after they finally announced that there would be a second one.
Yeah,
So I haven't seen the second one yet, but I've heard nothing but good about it.
it was
Um,
really good. I will. The cinematography was great. The storyline was almost on par with the book. There was a couple of things where they kind of split away from it. There was some parts where Emily thought it was kind of over the top frou-frou art stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but that's like my bread and butter kind of stuff is frou-frou art stuff. So
well,
I thought
and
it was
it's kind of a sci-fi epic, so I guess there would be some real artistic avant-garde type stuff. I
yeah,
mean, George Lucas took a lot of inspiration from Dune because he loved that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Um,
But
so
there's a spot where they're on the Harkonnen homeworld of Gidi Prime, and they have a black sun. So everything is like black and white, shades of black and white.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Um, and it fit in really well with the storyline, and I thought it was great. Emily thought it was a bit pretentious and artsy, but I'm like, that's me, pretentious and artsy. So I liked it
I
a lot.
mean, no argument. Um,
Yeah. So I thought
the
it was great. It made me sit down and finish my Sardaukar custom that I started shortly after the first Dune movie came out, um, and then was commissioned, turned into a commission, which I won't go into. Just
It turned into a commission and then went back to not being a commission.
yeah, when it turned out I was going to end up doing all the work for free, essentially. There's
Yeah,
more to
not
it than
that's
that.
not a commission. Not
Yeah,
really.
there's more to it than that, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna just
We're
leave.
going to be diplomatic and say, well, the custom got done,
It,
and
I,
you're keeping it in your collection.
I am. I got it carded. I got it hung up on the wall. I'm super happy with it. It's a I think it looks pretty close to the Sardaukar from the first movie. They had slightly different armors in the second movie. At the beginning of the movie, and then they had the kind of went back to the regular armor in the towards the end of the movie. But um the storyline was good. It held pretty close to the book. There was definitely some stuff that deviated from the book, but if you haven't read the book, you're still going to enjoy the movie. If you have read the book, you're probably still going to enjoy the movie. It's close
I
to the movie or to the
I
book. It's
really all the good press I've heard about it on a couple different podcasts was a mix of people who have read the books or who haven't read the books, and a couple who read the books decades ago and didn't go back to them. So, but they all there seems to be a pretty universal. This was really good, and that the people making this movie um, should rake in the awards, um, or deserve to rake in the awards.
I wouldn't argue that. Uh,
They added a couple of cast members to this one. Did they add them because those characters became relevant in this movie, or were they just simply pushed from the first movie into this one? Because
they became more
that
relevant.
happens sometimes when they move story elements around.
They became relevant in this book. So kind of uh so some characters didn't show up. Um but some characters did. And like I don't want to ruin it, you know. Uh
Yeah. You
for
mean for me or the general public?
for everybody, because I mean if you haven't read the book, then one
I
character.
haven't. So
Oh. Uh
I don't know why. When I give a thumbs up, there's no little animation on the screen, but when you do it, and now there is, oh, there it is. It must be because you're hosting it.
yeah, I think so.
So, um,
So like there was a character from the book that was in this movie that was not in the 1984 movie. Um, Aaliyah, who is Paul's sister, isn't born yet in this movie, where she is in the book and the 1984 movie, but they still make it relevant. Fade Rautha, who is the nephew to the Baron Harkonnen, uh, is one of the main characters that's introduced in this movie that wasn't in the first movie. Uh, if you've seen the 1984 movie, that's the character that was played by Sting.
um, it. I'm gonna guess that's the character that Austin Butler plays in this,
I don't know.
because well, the bald kid, right?
Yes,
Because he's related to. I mean, he looks it. Having no
did a
context,
fantastic
looks
job.
just like he was related to
I thought his,
Stellan Skarsgård.
I thought his characterization of the character was spot on. I thought it was,
Um,
I thought it was perfect. I thought they did a fantastic job.
what role does Florence Pugh play? I like her. I like her in everything she's in. I think she's one of my favorite actresses.
I don't know.
Um,
I didn't see. I don't know. I haven't looked at the. Like I said, I just watched it less than 12 hours ago.
oh,
So
okay. Um, so you're like recommend
oh,
then?
yeah, 100%. If you saw the first one, you got to see the second one. So Dune is a series of 6 books, and it really gets weird after the fourth one. I like the fourth. It gets weird in the fourth one. I really like the fourth one.
Yeah.
But uh, and then there's the sci-fi series, mini series. They did Dune and the Children of Dune. Children of Dune is actually the third book. So they kind of combined the second and third book into one mini series, and I've only made it about halfway through that.
Oh,
Uh,
is it not great?
it was just the timing on where I was when I was watching it.
Oh,
Uh,
circumstances have a lot to do with whether a movie or a thing gets watched or not watched or finished or not finished.
yeah,
So,
I was offshore, working offshore, and they had to move me off the vessel I was on onto a smaller boat for like 3 days because they didn't have room for me. So the smaller boat really didn't need a medic. So I didn't have anything to do. So I started watching that. And then I by the time it was ready for me to go back to my main vessel, I
that
just
makes sense. That
yeah, I
makes sense.
got back to it.
Um,
But I definitely think it's worth watching, and they did leave it open pretty open to continue. I know the guy that made it, I can't pronounce his last name, Dennis.
Vianu or something. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm pretty sure he's very French.
It's very French. He had said that he wanted to do more than just the first book, but they didn't make any like statements or commitments about that because they weren't sure how the first movie was going to go. And I think that was even before they had talked about making it into two movies. Um,
um, well,
so they did leave it open to continue the storyline, which I'm curious to see if they will to see how the movie does to see if they will continue. Emily seems to think that if they do continue, it will just be the next book, and that will be it, which is
so
Dune Messiah, if I'm right, if I remember
uh,
right.
so another important point is, do you recommend that we see this movie in the theater, or is it cool if you wait for it to stream at home?
Holy shit! So Emily had said something about how she didn't think they had as much music with the movie, but one of the things we went to see it in the Dolby Theater last night. He definitely filmed it in Dolby Atmos on purpose, and
So
it is
it's
readily
better in the theater.
noticeable the Dolby like sound stuff that they do
Oh,
with
that's cool.
like the
So, like
explosions.
with the sound that moves around the theater
Yeah,
and like backwards and forwards.
yeah,
So, watching it on your little computer speakers or your television is not going to have the same effect.
not even close. I mean, he did specifically film it in Dolby Atmos intentionally
Oh,
for
that's cool.
effects because there's a little blurb at the beginning of the movie about why he like you really need to see this in Dolby Atmos because it really adds something to the movie and it was intentional and it really did. It is very rarely will I've seen quite a few movies in Dolby and very rarely will I say that you can tell that it's intentional, but this was intentional and they did a good job of it.
All right. So, I think next weekend I'll probably go see this one then.
The one thing about it, not positive, not negative, it is a 2 hour and 45-minute movie.
That's all right. You know what? Nowadays, I don't think that's that much. I mean, Avengers Endgame was too.
Yeah,
Um,
it didn't feel like it, and that's what one of the things that Emily says. She's like, it didn't feel like 200.
One of the podcasters I listened to said he sat through the whole thing, didn't need to get up and go to the bathroom, and didn't ever check the time. He didn't even know this. So,
Yeah,
um,
I got a smaller Coke just in case.
good call.
Yeah,
Um,
I got the big old thing of popcorn, but I got a smaller Coke because I didn't want to miss anything.
good call.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. And I would like to see them re-release Dune and do like a marathon.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't re-release it before this one, or like a limited run thing. Kind of like one of those like Fathom events or whatever, where you just go see them. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm hoping maybe at some point they'll do that. Before I forget, trailer for Wolverine looks fantastic. Uh, there's something again. So the trailer for I'm sorry, not Wolverine, for Deadpool 3 with
I figured that's what you meant.
uh
Um,
it looks great. It looks
did
fantastic.
Was it the same trailer as the Super Bowl trailer?
Oh, I didn't see it. I was working Super Bowl, so I didn't.
Ah, so
Yeah, I was on
so
duty. I didn't see it.
all right, so but you know what? You got to see the trailer on the big screen, which I didn't. In fact, I watched it on my phone.
No,
So
I don't know.
so I,
I'm looking. I will look that up. And then most of the other previews were kind of crap. The only other promising one that looked interesting was the prequel to the last Mad Max movie. It's going to follow the character Furiosa, who was Charlize Theron. I can't ever say her name right either.
yeah.
That she's not in it, obviously, because it's a younger version of that character, and Mad Max isn't in it because obviously it's following Furiosa, but it actually looked pretty good.
Um,
Emily's kind of curious to see. That was the one thing about the last Mad Max movie was the amount of
keep
hang on,
talking.
the amount of practical effects that the Fury Road had. So Emily's curious to see if they do the same thing, and I'm going to pause it right here. So yeah, like I was saying, Emily's curious to see if they do as many practical effects as they did in Fury Road, which was a
Um,
fantastic movie.
I started it. I didn't finish it.
I'm
Um,
a Mad Max fan, so I love that. I've seen it a bunch of times.
I I have seen. I saw Beyond Thunderdome years and years ago.
That one's pretty campy.
I didn't care enough to go back and see the first two. Um,
First two
when
are
I worked at Blockbuster Video, I am dating myself here.
yes, you are.
Mad Max was always rented out, and the second Mad Max was
So Road
we
Warrior is
had to.
the first one, and then Mad Max is the second one.
Um, okay, so the first one was always rented out, and the second one we had to reorder the VHS tape because somebody rented it and never brought it back. But it was still in demand, so they ordered a new videotape.
Wow.
And then when when I started working there, DVD was a thing, but it was like a section of the store.
Sure.
And then as because I worked for a franchise, and once corporate started taking the franchises, and they started moving a lot of DVDs in. Um, I remember the first two uh we got DVDs for, and then those were always rented out. And then Beyond Thunderdome, I don't know if it didn't have a DVD at the time or if we didn't have it, but it doesn't matter. People rented the DVDs and then they watched Beyond Thunderdome on VHS. So it had a following. I
Yeah,
never
Road
watched
Warrior
it.
was filmed in the 70s and it shows, but I think it's one that did age well. I mean, there's definitely I watched when I was doing my um Clint Eastwood custom of him in Firefox, I rewatched Firefox. That movie did not age well, but
You know,
I think Road Warrior aged well, and then Mad Max was the second one, and I think that is like that's the one everybody like gloms onto because that was to me that was the good one, and Beyond Thunderdome was just kind of really campy.
I think I think the second one, or I think the first one, is what introduced most of the world to Mel Gibson.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, it was definitely one of his first movies.
it's so memorable to me that I can still readily recall the cover of the VHS tape from the store, where it's like a painting, it's like a pulp painting,
Yes,
and he's fully covered. He's standing on like the hood of his vehicle, and he's
yeah,
holding his like laser pistol out, and he's got his leather biker gear on, and I think that kind of stuff holds up because most this post-apocalyptic type stuff
well,
it
see, that was
does.
the first one is pre-apocalyptic.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah,
see, what do I know? But
so
a
so
lot
yeah,
of that.
the first one happens pre-apocalypse, and then the second one happens after the apocalypse.
So so the second one has a fairly substantial time gap, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
And yeah, that stuff seems to be fairly universal. Like the Terminator movies, those don't age. You can watch those whenever.
yeah,
Special effects don't matter. The story matters, and the Terminator franchise holds up. Even the numerous reboots that it's gotten,
yeah.
I don't care. If there's a Terminator movie, I will see it
Same
and
here.
I will enjoy it, and
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
I don't.
I've enjoyed all
They don't.
the movies.
For me, they don't need continuity. I don't give a shit. They don't.
Man,
They don't need to explain anything or do. drastic retcon. I don't care. They can just do whatever they want. I will watch it. If it's Terminator, I'll watch it. And in the past 2 years, I've rewatched T2, which holds up like it's not even a 35-year or like a 33-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Terminator 3, which I liked in the theater and I still do.
Yeah.
Terminator Salvation, which I watched last year and fuck, I forgot that that was still really cool. And
I've only seen that.
Terminator Terminator Genesis, which was supposed to be the first of a reboot trilogy that did not get a trilogy. I really liked that movie. Terminator Dark Fate was great too. I mean, according to Cameron, that's the official sequel to T2. But again, I don't care. It's like the RoboCop movies. I'll just watch them. In fact, RoboCop and RoboCop 2, no, in fact, RoboCop 3, I watched it just a couple of months ago.
I I did
I
not.
swear to God, ignore the special effects. As time in the real world marches on, I swear to God, those movies get more relevant.
They do.
They
They do.
uh because
Being a
you know,
police, yeah, riots, yeah,
yeah, it really like, and
yeah.
then in the third one where they're pulling people, they're moving them out of this neighborhood and busing them to safety, which we never actually get to see that because everything breaks down. It's not, it's not,
No
it
offense.
doesn't fit
Oh,
the real world completely, but you hear about things and it's like, there's some parallels here.
yeah. I don't know
And
that I
like
saw the third one.
corporations buying up, um, like you think of these military contractors and shit, this stuff continues to be relevant. In fact, I think it's getting more relevant. The these things, Mad Max, they're timeless movies. If you want to look at them as outdated cinema, that's cool. But if you want to look at them as some kind of escapist adventure, strap in, you're gonna get it. Um, so I probably need to see Fury Road and Mad Max, whatever.
And
All
Road,
right, I'll watch them.
I think they're worth it. I think it's good entertainment, and like I said, they aged well. I really liked God, who played Mad Max in Fury Road? Shit, his name just completely. Anyway, he played Venom in the new Venom movies.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, thank you. Uh,
Um,
I friggin' loved him in the third Batman movie. So as
um,
as Bane. So
Bane.
yeah, I thought he
Um,
amazing job as
uh,
Bane. So
I really like him in the Venom movies. I know you haven't seen them, but I I watched the first one with Blake, and then we went to see the second one in the theater. And then for New Year's Eve, we rewatched the first one, which my firstborn also watched it with us. And that kid was just as entertained from beginning to end as Blake and I were. And then the next weekend that I had Blake, so 2 weeks later, we watched Venom 2. And they both already said that we're going to see, they've declared, both of them have declared that we are going to see Venom 3 in the theater.
all right, I didn't know
So
it was gonna be a Venom 3,
yes.
right?
So yeah, Tom Hardy, he's really good in that part. So I mean he's a good actor, but
Is I really
um
like. So I thought he was fantastic as Mad Max. I thought he did just. I mean, there are definitely roles that are like you can't see anybody else doing it, like Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones. I mean, that's always going to be that. But at the same time, River Phoenix did an awesome job as a young Indiana Jones. So I think I think that Tom Hardy is did as as good of a job as he possibly could for that role.
um yeah, the um did they show the trailer for the new Planet of the Apes movie?
No, uh,
Um
did see the new trailer for something I'm sure Blake's gonna want to see, and that's the new Godzilla King Kong movie.
Oh yeah, he's already said we're going to see that too. So
Yeah, I told Emily, I'm like, well, Blake will love that.
yeah, we went to go see the Godzilla Kong in. We watched it on HBO when it first came out, and then when they opened it, when they put it in the theaters afterwards, after the theater started mass opening again, we went to go see it again. Because he
You know what?
wanted to see it on the big screen.
It's not my thing, but it looks Blake's gonna love it.
We're
Watch
totally
the
in
preview,
on
I'm
that.
like, man, Blake is just gonna like be
Oh
beside
yeah,
to
yeah,
see it.
he is. Um,
So
so he's tickled because I saw something online that in the Justice League King Kong Godzilla crossover thing that they're doing in the comic books right now, King Kong is now a Green Lantern, and Blake was amused when I first saw the gorilla as the Green Lantern. I'm like, did they turn Gorilla Grodd into a Green Lantern? They're like, King Kong is a green. I'm like, what? So
okay.
I had to click and look at it. I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool. I'm good with that because you got to be a decent person to be a Green Lantern. So I'm like, all right, so that confirms King Kong is wholesome. So
The other preview we saw that looked that we're gonna go see is the new Ghostbusters movie.
I still need to see Afterlife.
It was
I
good.
will, but I haven't seen it yet. So
It was a little slow to get going, I think, but it's worth seeing.
um,
It still just kind of breaks my heart that they had to do CGI Harold Ramis, but I it's
better that than trying to summon him back to life for it.
yeah.
Um, I mean,
I thought they did a good job doing it, and it was worth seeing totally.
um,
Especially,
and really, Paul Rudd is great in everything the guy's ever been in. So you know,
yeah,
and it's cool because they're bringing Janine back for this one because I don't know if she was in the last one,
was
but she's wearing the Ghostbuster uniform in
yeah,
this
she
one.
was
So I'm like, all
Afterlife.
right, cool.
Yeah, she was in Afterlife. So that was the movies. So we haven't been to a movie, Emily said, since May of last year.
Um, I am trying to remember the last time I went to the movie theater, and it wasn't all that long ago. I just can't remember what it was that I went to go see because there was something.
The last thing I wanted to go see was the new Mission Impossible movie, but I couldn't talk Emily into going to see it with me. I have talked to her. We are watching the Mission Impossible movies, so we've got two more to go. The one that came out last year and the one before that. So I've gotten her
Um,
the first five Mission Impossible movies so far.
so did you
All right, we had to pause it there, so I kind of lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Something about Mission Impossible.
yeah, because you've gotten Emily to watch the first four
Five,
or five
five,
movies.
yeah,
So you got to watch what Fallout and Dead Reckoning.
yeah.
So you haven't seen Dead Reckoning then.
Not, I've not seen
Um,
yet.
well, it's good that you start. I'm not going to say I'm not going to spoil anything. I will just say it is good that you started from the beginning because there was a surprise in Dead Reckoning. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I had rewatched it actually. So
Nice. Yeah. No, I love those movies. I've seen them all a bunch of times. So yeah, just looking for the time to sit down and watch the last two. So anyway, that was the movies. We were also going to talk about G.I. Joe classified stuff because they had a bunch of announcements. Well, stuff went up for pre-order and they had pictures finally. So the Night Creeper, which looks fantastic.
oh, oh yes, it
Yeah.
did everything right with that, and included a Ninja Force Night Creeper head as an alternate look, like an alternate look for it. So I'm like, some people are like, well, now we need a full fledged Ninja Force Night Creeper. But in my opinion, if they never get to it, who cares? They gave us the helmet. That was the coolest thing about that figure.
Yeah, 100%. Doc. showed the render for Doc, which I think looks amazing. That is almost 100% what my idea was to make a custom for Doc that I just haven't gotten around to yet.
Yeah, Doc's one of those that you've been trying for years to get your head around, but you could never quite get there. And they really did everything with Doc that they could that they could have and should have done with
Yeah,
Doc. He's
that, that is
he's
almost
a phenomenal update of the original, or he's a great update of the original while also being modern.
yes.
Um, he's a
Which
modern battlefield doctor, and that is a fucking awesome figure.
yep, I pre-ordered that one. Finally get to see Torch. Um, I'm not a Dreadnought fan. It,
I'm not. It looks great.
yeah, yeah, it does. I
I
won't.
don't. I don't have the other dreadnought. I have Zartan. I have Serana. I will buy Xandar when it comes out. When they bring out Road Pig, I will buy him because in the comics he was always Serana's boyfriend, but I always looked at him as he was the big dumb ox that probably ran around with Xandar and Serana when they were growing up,
Yeah.
and so I like that character too. The rest of the Dreadnoks, if they never update them, it's fine. Because Nagahide, I love.
Oh
I
yeah.
never saw him as a Dreadnought though. I
Uh
mean,
yeah, I can see that.
yeah,
But the figure looks amazing. I am super impressed. I am not a Nagahide fan, not a Dreadnoks fan, but the classified Nagahide classified Nagahide figure looks fantastic. Super impressed with that.
they did everything with that character. He's frighteningly accurate to the original design. They just they tweaked everything and modernized it and made it a little bit more real world functional, and the paint apps are amazing. And when you take the hat off and the scars on the head, I'm like, oh, that's badass. So
I'm on the fence on that, and just because of how fantastic that figure looks.
yeah,
Uh
I
the,
as a big no, not a big fan of the Deke series, but as a guy who watched the Deke series consistently because I was right at that age, Naugahyde was always around. He was there in Operation Dragonfire, and then he was there for a lot of episodes of the Deke
I
stuff.
really
And
watched a lot of the Deke stuff.
uh,
Didn't get to
he
play here.
he was a member of Cobra more than he was a Dreadnought, and I'm cool with that. I mean, in my universe, Thrasher is a member of Cobra too. He's not a Dreadnought anymore, so I like the idea that Naugahyde could be the game warden on Cobra Island and go on operations just to kick some skulls. Um,
2-pack of Tiger Force, Tripwire, and Roadblock because we needed another Roadblock figure.
Fuck yeah, we did. I pre-ordered the hell out of that.
Fuck, that made
I
me laugh because you, as much as you hate Tripwire.
well, I have all the other classified Tiger Force figures. So I mean, I started with well, I got Duke in the first place because regardless of Tiger Force, that's my favorite color scheme for Duke. It was when I was a kid too. I didn't care if he was Tiger Force.
That's
I
actually
liked the color scheme.
that's actually not a. I actually do like that color scheme for Duke.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great figure. And then I got Flint, but he's not Flint. I gave him a head swap and repainted the head that he's got. I repainted the weird camouflage on his face. I used him as Marfim, who was a Brazilian release character, a repaint of Battlecore Outback. Um, so of course I ordered Tripwire and Tripwire. I'm not going to use him as Tripwire. I'm going to turn him into somebody else. He's going to keep the armor. Uh, well, at least the padding and the leg pads. I'm going to use them as somebody else. I don't know who yet, but he ain't going to be Tripwire. I have a Tripwire. It's orange and pink, and my best friend painted it for me, and I love it. So that is my Tripwire. This
Okay,
guy won't be. I don't know who
glad
will
you like
be.
that.
Um,
The the Cobra mobile missile system also went up for pre-order with a repaint of the Techno Viper. I am probably going to pre-order that myself in preparation for the fact that there has to be a classified Stinger coming.
The Vamp is on the verge of shipping. The Vamp is they're gonna charge for it this week. They're gonna ship it this week. They've already hinted that they've they designed it to be forwards compatible with future repaints or or themed revisions of it. They said without saying, yes, we're going to bring out a Stinger, and it's already got innovations built in
Wasn't
so that
there
we could.
a Stinger driver kind of like in some of the art recently too?
um
At someone,
the Cobra Ferret Scout, the driver of the Ferret Scout, she's in gray. She's a gray. She's a repaint of the Cobra Valkyrie. She's gray with like the motocross armor and the motocross helmet with fangs on it. That is saying without saying, we're gonna do a Stinger driver in gray, and we made the Ferret Scout to fit in with future things that there were. There's no way the Stinger's not in the pipeline. I'd be surprised if we went a couple of months without seeing pictures of it.
so I want the Cobra mobile missile system for my Stinger, plus I want the repainted Techno Viper. So I mean, it's a pretty good sale for me. I'm on board with that because I did not throw down for the Vamp, although it
I
was
did.
first mid-sized vehicle. I think maybe my third vehicle because I had the Battle Bear, the Ram, and then the Vamp. Um, but it was my first vehicle that came with a figure.
Yeah, I've got.
But it just
Yeah,
it it didn't do enough for me. But if they do a Stinger, oh yeah, I'm on board for the Stinger.
I ordered the Vamp. Half of it was because I love the Vamp. The other half is because I love Clutch, and he's he's not entirely new, but he's almost new. And like he's got this awesome Clutch head sculpt, and he comes with a repaint of the Steel Brigade helmet, and he looks just like Clutch. He's ready to be a douchebag and get punched in the nose by CoverGirl, and it'll be he's great. And I may not buy a Stinger, but I will be cheering when it's announced anyways, because
And I'm going to be tempted to get the Ferret just for the driver so I can have a female Stinger driver.
yeah, and they did a good job creating like the motocross helmet with the fangs on it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't need to order it, but I kind of wish I could get one of those helmets for my Valkyries.
Yeah.
So
I am seriously tempted to get it just for the female figure.
I honestly might, simply because I never had a ferret when I was a kid. I never had a tiger paw either. Like even the mail order, I never had one. I knew people who did,
I had the
and
Ferret.
the box art is classic in my head. The Storm Shadow and Firefly driving it, and um,
I did the
I
cut.
may order it, I may not.
You were here
So
last time too.
yeah, yeah. When you bought that little Halo,
Yeah.
whatever it was, to
News.
yeah, and you turned it into a ferret or into a. So I mean, it's not up for pre-order yet, but
Yeah.
I might, I might.
The other
Driver
announced
is
the other
fucking cool.
one that's up for pre-order pictures is Jinx. Uh, I'm not feeling it. Uh,
I totally am. She's edgy. She's badass looking. I'm actually, for a long time, I was when they announced Jinx last year as a name only reveal for San Diego Comic Con. I remember saying, "Holy shit, that took a long time before they," because I she was a shoe in for the classified line.
yeah.
I was waiting for an announcement of her back in 2021 for release in 2022. I'm actually glad they didn't, because she's an all new mold.
Yes.
And she does what I want to see from some of the classified releases. Take the original version, inject it with some adrenaline, uh, spike it just a little bit, and make it badass. And that
And
I'm totally feeling it. The tattoo is cool. I like the arm wraps. Finally, an unmasked Jinx with
yes.
the classic hairstyle, because we've gotten an unmasked Jinx before. Back in the Eller versus Venom line, she was unmasked and she did have a cool new outfit. But what that figure didn't have was good proportions, and it had a tiny head and it had the top knot ponytail, which was okay because people were excited to get an unmasked Jinx.
Plus the San Diego Comic-Con releases.
Did that have the unmasked head too? Oh yeah, but see again, to top knot with the. This is the first, and again, it's got the ponytail. This is the first time they've made a Jinx figure with the short, spiky, badass haircut from GI Joe the
Like the
movie.
Valor versus Venom, longer hair. I think
Um,
one of the coolest things they did with that figure, and
oh no, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying if they were gonna wait to do the short, spiky hair with attitude, classified was the way to go with it. I think
yeah,
so. Yeah, it that's a must have for me.
yeah.
Um,
I knew that. I mean, I saw that. I'm like, there's no way that you're not gonna get
oh
that.
God, yeah, no way.
What were some of the name only reveals? I believe there was one in there that I am super excited for.
They announced right at the beginning of the stream, because I watched the stream. They announced the Saw Viper, and they announced, um, God damn it, it was a joke. No, was it a no? What the fuck?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. So I've got something pulled up here.
Yeah, because they made a surprise announcement right at the end of the stream that I missed because I changed YouTube videos like 3 minutes before the end of it, and I missed the surprise announcement. I didn't see it until later that day when What's on Joe Mind made a post about the three. Oh, Dial Tone. That was the name only
Oh yeah,
reveal that they mentioned was Dial Tone.
yeah.
But in the Facebook post by What's on Joe Mind, they mentioned they had pictures of they had graphics of the three name only announcements. And I'm like, and I responded, I'm like, when did the Frag Viper get announced? And I think it was Troy or somebody said in response to me, they announced it right at the end because Emily had said there were 8 pre-orders going up, but she meant 8 figures. There were 7 pre-orders because the Tiger Force 2-pack. So she said to make up for it, there's going to be a classified Frag Viper too. And when I saw that response, um, I texted Brian and I said, "Hey, classified Frag Viper." And even though he's in Colorado, I think I heard a whoop or something of celebration because you love your specialty Vipers.
Oh, I sure as hell do. So the other pipeline reveals, Retro Beachhead. They showed the Retro Snow Serpent, which is pretty a little bit more V1-ish. I'll probably pick up one of those. The Retro Eel, I cannot tell a difference between that and uh the one that came out. I was really hoping for a version 1 backpack with the Retro Eel, and they did not do that. Of course, I think we've already talked the Alpine, Iron Grenadiers, Raptor, Stardust, and Nemesis Immortal or Enforcer, depending on your preference. And Xandar had already been announced. Leatherneck, I don't know if that's one that we had talked about as a name.
No, we haven't. He was announced in a previous stream. Um, um, he yeah. I'm kind of I'm not surprised that they announced Leatherneck. Um, especially with the follow up it wasn't announced by Hasbro, but it was leaked that there's going to be another Transformer crossover 3 3/4 inch set. It's going to be the Triple T tank
Yeah.
with Sergeant Slaughter and Leatherneck, and the Transformer is the Autobot Cup. And
Oh,
but
okay.
when I saw, uh,
I hadn't heard that who the Transformer was going to be.
oh yeah, it's a grizzled old soldier Cup, and when I saw that Leatherneck and Sergeant Slaughter were there, I'm like, classified Leatherneck, because if you look at all of them, all the little crossover, they're all classified. They're all guys, all characters that we've gotten in classified too. So,
Oh yeah, it's true.
so Leatherneck wasn't really a surprise. Plus, we got Leatherneck in the 50th anniversary line,
Yeah.
so we know that he's on the radar. Now I'm just wondering how long until they announce Wetsuit, because in my opinion, can't have Leatherneck without Wetsuit. They're the buddy cop.
Can't have Torpedo without Wetsuit.
True, especially if you read GI Joe Special Missions #1,
Yes.
where it's Torpedo and Wetsuit hanging off the side of a battleship, firing their weapons. But if you're a Sunbow enthusiast, there
Yeah.
is no Leatherneck without Wetsuit. And in fact, for Wetsuit, if you remember the GI Joe issue #47 with Beachhead piloting the Devilfish, Hawk
Yes.
is on one side, Wetsuit's on the other.
Yeah.
Classic comic book cover.
Yep.
Wetsuit is going to happen. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I think that's one of the Mike Zeck covers, actually.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen a couple of recreations that people do with vintage figures and whatever, and it's such a great comic book issue. I know people, I've seen 3D printed Devilfish people made and with their customs of Leatherneck or of Wetsuit, and they put Hawk and Beachhead in there. I'm like, it's such a glad they got to make Leatherneck. There's no doubt they will. And the fact that they announced Dial Tone kind of surprised me, because we already have Breaker, so we already have one of the communications guys, and um, we don't have Lifeline yet. I don't like Lifeline, but I'm really shocked that Lifeline hasn't been announced yet.
The one that I'm still shocked that hasn't been announced is Night Viper.
Night Viper is all but guaranteed, especially in light of Saw Viper, Frag Viper. There's no way we're not getting a Night Viper. But I called that. Remember when the Range Viper was announced, and I said, there's no way the Night Viper is not incoming. Now that we got Frag Viper, Saw Viper, Range Viper, Televiper, I'm like, where? And Night Creepers? Where the hell is a Night Viper? In the Alley Viper? Where the hell is a
Another
Night
thing that I
Viper?
noticed is we're getting really close to having all of the characters from the Flaming Moth series as well. The
Oh
only
yeah, Range Viper,
the
the
exclusion,
Frag Viper.
the only exclusions at this point in time, not goddamn it, not counting the name only ones.
Oh, that's right, because there's a Snow Serpent. Really, they need the Ice Viper
Ice
and
Viper, Ice
the
Viper, and Night
Flak
Viper
Viper.
and Flak Viper, the only three that
And
are.
Flak Viper's now on my wish list.
Oh yeah,
Way back in 2020 when I made my classified wish list, and I put some real Wild Blue Yonder humdinger choices on there. The Flak Viper wasn't on the list, but so much else of my list has come out. Basically, Rip It hasn't come out.
I will with
Uh,
the tank.
huh?
He will with the classified his tank, won't he? Isn't he in there?
No, that's just the His driver. Rip It's not there. Rip
Oh,
It was blue. But
I thought there was a.
I,
I thought there
no,
was.
that's the His tactician.
Okay.
He's black and red.
I didn't follow that one too closely because I was like, I couldn't afford it and didn't want it anyway.
I couldn't afford it either. Someday I'd like to get one, but whatever. But the lamprey hasn't come out yet, nor has it been announced. But the reason I wished for the lamprey was because I liked the slick wetsuit that he had and the cool helmet. But I thought for sure that the eel would be momentary. I never expected the eel was going to take another 3 years before it came out. But
But yeah,
Metalhead,
started,
Metalhead is incoming. Um, Lady J happened. Oh, now it is doing the thumb thing.
no,
Um,
did it do it for you?
yeah, I think so. Nope,
Not,
that was you.
yeah, it was,
Um, no, Jesus, that's really weird.
yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, Lady J, Serpentor, Spirit, they all happened.
But I thought it was interesting that all but three figures have been announced for that were in the Flaming Moth series. We got
That
Chuck,
is
we got
interesting.
Shipwreck, we got Frag Viper, we got
Oh
Grand
yeah,
Viper.
Chuckles. And yeah, so really, I don't know if they'll do an Ice Viper, but I'd be shocked if they didn't.
At this
Um,
point in time, I'm kind of wondering if they aren't planning on doing repaints in the Flaming Moth series at some point in time.
um, that would be badass if they did, because now, as much as I would have said a couple years ago, we probably won't see club stuff updated by Hasbro for classified, and then we did. I'll be opening it on the show in a little while.
The
Um,
other one that kind of surprises me that they haven't made any announcement is Don Moreno.
I I wonder. One of the chats I'm in for classified, somebody suggested maybe it's a rights issue
It's not
because maybe it's
Hasbro owns
like,
it. I talked to Jamie Lydell about it
oh,
because
does he outright own?
no,
Because
he does not. He says because I took mine custom to get it autographed by him,
right,
and he's like, I tried to tell them that like you need to make a figure of this, and I said I because I asked him, I was like, I used your art for my custom card back. I'm like, is that cool? I mean, because normally I don't get a chance to ask the artist if I can use their art on my card.
yeah, that's true.
He's like, I don't own any of that art. Hasbro owns all of it.
Yeah, because
There's
you
no right
know
issues with that.
because Larry Hama created her for his Real American Hero revival comic run, but I didn't know. I wasn't sure if there was some sort of thing where Hasbro wasn't making the count, but so
he said
I'm really
Hasbro,
shocked that Don
James said,
Moreno Snake Eyes has not been announced yet.
Jamie said Hasbro has the full rights to that character.
Okay, because we got Kamakura, who originated from the Devil's Due comics. Um, so I think I really think it's only a matter of time. But a Don Moreno Snake Eyes in classified because Kodo Bukiya made one for their
Yeah.
little anime statue line. So it's got it. Hasbro of all characters, especially if they're going to make Heart Wrencher, the Dreadnought from the Devil's Due comic, they have to make.
And if they make one of those, I'm getting two of them and I'm making another Storm Shadow variant figure.
Um, as, as you should.
Yeah.
But they have to make a Don Marino Snake Eyes. She's so cool. I think they have to. Dude, you weren't even doing a thumbs up. You moved your hand.
Yeah.
Um,
Thumbs. I got to keep my thumbs down.
um, the but yeah, the classified and now, you know what? I'm not buying all of it, but
Getting,
fuck,
I'm getting
there
more than
aren't
I
any
thought.
that suck. They aren't making any that just suck. They
No.
are the In fact, I think the only one they really fucked up on was Falcon. So he was more of an anomaly than anything else. They really, I'm not ordering the retro figures because honestly, most of them I like the early classified stuff. I like classified
I will pick up
Duke.
Snow Serpent, and I probably will pick up the Beachhead because I was like, I'm not going to get the Beachhead, but then I saw the render. I'm like, that is Super V1. I'll
Yeah,
probably
see, I
Beachhead.
still like the classified Beachhead. I'm fine with it. And yeah, classified Duke, I still like it. Classified Scarlet, still one of my favorite figures in the classified line. So uh I might maybe on the Snow Serpent. because I do like the brighter blue. I can make him the unit commander. But
Only kind of disappointment on that one was for me was that they didn't do the missile launcher.
yeah, he's got
Obviously,
all reused accessories.
yeah, I think if
Um,
they were going to do retro stuff, they should have done the retro gear
well,
with it.
that's what we expected with the eel was that at the very least it would have the backpack with the
Their
what do you
hope,
call them? The little yeah, the little turbine things on
yeah, that
but
yeah,
the
underwater,
propulsion thing. But
yeah,
they didn't. They just reused the backpack. And I thought maybe the classified I thought maybe the snow serpent, the retro version, might have like the tennis racket snowshoes, but no. So I still might get it, but I'm not ordering the other retro stuff. I'm an anomaly. I like the other classified stuff they've given us,
I
but
will probably pick up the retro Scarlet at some point in time too,
um, but
because it's finally the version one body with the long hair, which was one of the things that bugged me as a kid. Is my
it
Scarlet?
bugged me too when I was a kid. And it wasn't lack of ponytail. I just didn't like the fact that she didn't. I remember reading the comic, not being so much bothered by the lack of ponytail as her figure didn't have the personality. She didn't look like the sassy badass that she did. She looked like an aerobics instructor, not just the leotard. She just very mundane. I remember when I was a kid, uh, Breaker not matching. I preferred Breaker with the bubble gum and the lack of beard. I preferred him in the comic. I preferred Scarlet in the comic, and I preferred and I wish that Hawk had the the flat top. I just so I do like that they finally they're 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 matching them. And Scarlet, this is the first Scarlet that really had all the attitude that you saw from the early comics.
Yeah. So I'm
Um,
looking forward. I probably will pick that up just because. I think that was about all of the.
you know what? In summary, what Lenny and his team unclassified are doing, they're knocking it out of the park. They're consistently firing on all cylinders. They're making characters from every point in the vintage line, and sometimes they go outside the vintage line. Thank you, Shadow Tracker. Thank you, Shooter. Thank you, Kamakura.
Yeah.
Um, they really, if I see a Flak Viper, and if I see if I can finally get Anthony Flash Gambello in classified, I will be elated. Also, Super Trooper. He was on my list in 2020.
Remember that.
Now that we're getting Starduster, I think Super Trooper is a possibility.
I don't see why not, honestly. I will buy any and every specialty Viper that they make.
Um, and they will repaint all of them, and you'll buy those too. Because you bought his fire team right with the Range Viper and the two troopers.
And I fucking
So
love that Range Viper. It's beautiful.
yeah, it is outright scary with that mask in those colors. I'm like, damn, don't fuck with that guy.
Yep. No,
Um,
that was I'd asked for it for Christmas, but it had sold out. And then came back in stock shortly after Christmas and like buy now, buy now. I'm like texted Emily. I'm like, so
oh
my Christmas present just came in stock and I bought it. She's like, okay.
yeah, nice.
All right.
Um,
Uh so that yeah, I think that was pretty much all the classified stuff. I can't think of any like relevant other interesting toy news because that's basically all that either of us collect at this point in
I
time.
was gonna say, yeah,
Collect
we're toy nerds.
Marvel
I
Legends
I
stuff. I
I
don't.
can't go into a store and not check the toy department, even if I'm not looking for anything or expecting to find anything. I
That's
do. Oh yeah, Target's running a big sale. I finally ordered a Python Trouble Bubble. I didn't want to pay full price, but for like the 26 plus shipping, they're charging. All right, that's fine.
yeah.
Um,
I like it.
so
I think it's a fantastic. I love it. I'm super happy that I got it.
Well, and I have the other Python characters they've done, so
Do not.
I felt
I had to
shitty not having a Televiper. Well, now I will. So
I got it because it had a Televiper. I had to have I had to have the Televiper, and
of
I
course, yeah.
actually I bought it because of the Televiper. But when I opened it and looked at the Treble Bubble, I'm like, this thing's sweet. So I was
And
super
I
happy.
don't have the other Trouble Bubble, so it'll be nice to have a classified Trouble Bubble. But
All right. So we were going to hang on a second. I was gonna just look at something here real quick. I don't think I can't think of like any interesting Marvel Legends stuff that's coming out.
now I did get Night Creeper from the X-Men 97 or Nightcrawler. I got Nightcrawler from the X-Men 97 line because I missed the other classified versions and I was shocked. Target had Nightcrawler. I'm like, really? So I picked it up. I wasn't gonna order him, but who doesn't love Kurt Wagner? So
I
I'm like,
I still really want that Psylocke from the 50th anniversary Wolverine set just because I love that those three issues from X-Men where
yeah,
it acts of vengeance and it's the Mandarin and it's one of the coolest, one of the most awesome um interpretations of the Mandarin ever in comic books. And it's just a fantastic storyline and I really want that character in a action figure form, but $50 is a lot for one figure, man. Because I
you know what? They end up discounting a lot of stuff, so maybe they'll discount it. Then maybe you, then it won't be so painful to get stuck with a Wolverine you don't care
yeah,
about.
that's what I'm hoping. Is they'll do that. You know, I thought about that, and then one of the things I thought about doing is giving the Wolverine to Emily to customize because remember the custom
Oh, she made that Wonder Woman. Yeah.
no she made the she did the I hate my parents Wolverine custom while we were there the first time.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I was thinking of the Mighty Mug that she did. I think it was Wonder Woman or something.
It
But
was.
oh, that's right. She did the I hate my yeah the emo Wolverine. That would be great. Have her customize a Marvel Legends figure. Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I thought about seeing if I could talk her into doing that, but we'll see. Because it's a much bigger figure, but I don't know. So we were going to open some figures.
yeah, I the San Diego Comic or no the Pulse Con uh Crimson Crimson Strike Team set. There was no way I was paying full price for it.
I don't blame you.
Um, I'm not a fan of the Crimson Twins. I know they're acrobats in their in the comic and on their file whatever, but in my opinion, they're not acrobats, they're clowns. And I am not a fan, but if I'm gonna have Tomax and Zaymot, I prefer them in the red. The blue never bothered me until the club put them in red for the 2002 GI Joe uh convention set, and then I'm like, oh fuck, now I really hate them in blue because they don't match their troopers. But
Yes.
I wasn't I wasn't gonna order the set for what was it, 85 or 90. I'm like, no, no way, not for because the Baroness was great.
I really
Well,
want that Baroness figure.
but in the Hasbro Pulse, they call it the
Outlet.
outlet section, which is the like their clearance or their markdown section. They had the set for like 65 plus shipping. You know what? Fuck it. I needed it. So it comes in this display box. It looks like an extensive enterprises
Suit.
briefcase.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
pretty.
going to open it. I got it the other
Love
day.
gimmicky packaging, man. I am a sucker for gimmicky packaging.
Yeah,
I
you are.
almost picked up Chuckles just because of the packaging. Because I
Um,
love gimmicky packaging.
the packaging is the packaging and the price is the reason I didn't pick up Chuckles. And it hurt because he's one of my favorite Joes, but I couldn't justify $45 for one figure and a bunch of honestly kitschy accessories that didn't do much for me.
Oh, yeah,
At
no,
first, I had been kind of hoping
he's
that he'd
not
be
for that.
at first I'd kind of hoped that when they did a classified Chuckles, we'd at least get like a flak vest, so we look more like a like a CIA type. And then I was fine with it just being a retro style thing, but I'm like, the price for the gimmick, but now if they outlet that too eventually, or if I can find a deal for him on eBay,
Yeah.
of course I'm gonna get it. But here's the cool thing. Now we've got this extensive enterprise briefcase. We've got the combination locks on top.
Nice.
It's closed by a magnet.
Oh, sweet.
So
Oh man, this is yeah. I just
so
no use for the Crimson Twins, man. Yeah, I've seen the art. I love the art in that box. I've seen the
of that, it's got the cover of the uh it's a loose piece, but it's got like a bat intel file,
okay,
gold bars
nice.
for inside the briefcase. It's got because they're embossed or they're stamped with the Cobra sigil and 250 grams of gold in each bar. And then
Nice.
um you know what? I really love that magnet enclosure. That is so cool.
Yeah, dude, I
That is
love
so
packaging like that.
that is so unnecessary and so cool.
That is sweet.
I'm gonna totally keep this box because of that. Um, I mean, look, this art, I love that art.
I know the art's
That's great.
fantastic.
Um,
Love the art in that.
but oh boy, I gotta find my clippers so I can cut all these little rubber bands. Or the little little plastic pieces that hold them in. But let me hang on.
All right, let me pause it here.
No, hang on.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm right here.
Oh,
I wasn't sure how they were held in. I wasn't sure if they were just like the little bags, but I didn't realize how extensive the gimmicky packaging was. But I expected the little paper bags like we've had for the last year or two.
boy, talk about the little rubber bands. So recently, I picked up one of the Star Wars comic packs from the early or kind of late 2000s.
Oh yeah,
Rebellion #3, with the stealth suit Luke Skywalker and Dina Shan, and the little rubber bands that held the weapons together. This pack had been sitting in the sun because the blister was yellowed, and the
oh
rubber bands had dissolved into the figures.
oh no shit.
Yeah. So
Oh, so they were all what, tacky?
yeah. So
Oh man.
I was able to clean them up, but with some Dawn dishwashing detergent, and they're okay now. But yeah, I got them.
All right, so you didn't have to use Goo Gone because I thought for sure you were going to say you had to get the Goo Gone out.
No,
Um,
dishwashing detergent got took care of it.
um,
I forgot.
the fact is, a lot of these things are made and they're packaged, and even though there is an expectation, some people won't open them. There's there's also a question of sometimes it's just what's best for the line cost wise, and that's what they do. They put the little rubber bands, but I didn't realize they were prone to like disintegrating.
I didn't either.
Um,
That's the first time I've seen them disintegrate. But the blister was so yellow that it had to have been sitting in the sun for a long time.
I wonder if it was like getting in a comic book store or something in
Yeah,
like
I went
store
back
and
at the eBay seller, and it was a toy store. So
yeah. So uh so it had probably been sitting in a basement or the front window or something for a long time.
yeah, but I'm super happy to have those figures in my collection again. I tried to customize them because the one thing about these figures was the size discrepancy because they're smaller than the normal Star Wars figures. Um, and I love the concept, but I fucking hate T crotch figures. So I never did end up customizing them. I still have the original Dina Shawn figure here. I used her head on something else, but um, and I don't know where the Luke Skywalker is.
One thing that they never did have in the Star Wars line was, yeah, consistency with,
No
yeah,
consistency.
Chewbacca was always, not always, but starting in the year 2000, they had him scaled right, way taller than everybody else. But Luke Skywalker tended to come out and like the many Luke Skywalker figures they made. If you line them up on a shelf, their heights will do this.
Yeah,
Some of them are too short for a stormtrooper.
yeah,
Some of them are too short to be Luke Skywalker, and some of them are as tall as Han Solo.
yeah,
That's not right.
yeah. This one is definitely too short for a stormtrooper.
Um, yeah, he looks a little squat.
But
Um,
I am working on a custom of that particular figure, so I'm using a 20 or a Zartan figure as my base figure.
Retaliation Zartan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So he'll be proportionate.
Yes.
Um,
I'm
so you're
using.
not using the head from that Luke Skywalker custom.
No, I've got a comic pack Luke, um, Dagobah Luke that I'm using the head for. It's a
Ah,
really nice sculpt. Oh man, yeah, I really want that Baroness figure.
yeah, her head sculpt is all new, and her arms are new.
Man,
Um,
yeah,
the rest of the figure is the same as the Cobra Island and the retro version,
yeah.
but and this metallic, it's hard to see on my shitty camera, but the the torso armor is like a gloss metallic red, and you love metallic paint.
I know,
Um,
I know. It's killing me not to. If there were any other figures in that set, would have already bought it. But I am not. Or if they put the Crimson Twins in like business suits, because to me that's the Crimson Twins that I like is when they're
I prefer them. I prefer them as the heads of the extensive enterprises. I don't consider that version of them, if they're bankrolling the Crimson Guard or they're bankrolling Cobra. I don't mind them. I don't see them as clowns, but the leotard suit and the, god damn it, take them out of the circus and put them in the top floor of the extensive enterprises
they're a
headquarters building
is
and
there a
have him take everybody to court.
is there a 1/12th business suit figure?
Oh yeah, there's hammerheads from the Spider-Man line. Um,
Because I'm
which it's like a blue suit with black pinstripes.
maybe I need to get that set there and then do some customs.
I think so. I'm just saying. Um, I, I I think it's pretty
So
dumb if you don't get it at the discount price.
yeah,
I don't know if the outlet stuff goes back up or if it's more like a sale. I'm not really sure, but somebody in one of the classified groups posted it, and there were a few sarcastic responses like, "Oh yeah, we already know." And my response was, "Holy shit! I never checked the Hasbro Pulse site unless I know there's something on there I need." So I was glad. I was like, "Dude, thank you for post." I ordered it immediately.
well, and I'm glad you sent it to me because I saw the Iron Man Detroit Steel figure, and I hadn't planned on picking that up because it wasn't an entirely new mold, accurate to the comic book. It was just a repainted Ironmonger figure, but they've got it on the outlet for a fairly reasonable price. And I'm like, oh, I might get that now.
Um, um, yeah, they have a Clone Trooper 4-pack on there that I thought you might be intrigued by too. It's I think they're phase 2 clones. One of them has like the orange mask for the Ahsoka get up. One of them is an officer, and the other two are just plain white clone troopers. But there's a few set. Yeah, I thought, and then I saw the black the chrysanthemum, the I'm like, it's like half price. I'm like, oh, Ryan's gonna be annoyed by that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
see, if I'm gonna have some
I did see
stupid
that. I was like, well, god damn it. But yeah,
yeah, if I'm gonna have some stupid twins, yeah, put them in the crimson. And you know, I have to think that uh Brian Savage and all the people that ran the GI Joe Collectors Club for like 20 years, they had to be absolutely chuffed when Hasbro announced this, because
yeah,
the original Crimson Strike team was a 15 figure box set
yes,
in 2002. It had a version one, or it had a repaint of the original Baroness in red and silver,
yeah,
with the red suit, with the red repaints of Tomax and Zaymot. And then there were 12 Crimson Vipers, which were classic Vipers with some different parts, in red and silver. And that set sold out at the convention in 2002. I wasn't there, but I saw the pictures. It looked fantastic. And all these years later, that set is still so memorable that the classified team updated it because it was such a cool idea. The club guys have to be like, holy shit, we did that. That was our idea, and it's now been immortalized in a second point. That is awesome. I feel satisfied on behalf of those guys who ran the club, because they got to be like, victory lap. Um, so yeah, dude, I have one of the Crimson Twins from the classified line. I don't know which one it is. I don't care. It was $9 on Amazon before Christmas, so I ordered it in case I ever needed parts. I've not yet found a use for it, except that their hair comes off relatively easily, and they so I'm like, well, that's cool, and I can use the head sculpts for somebody else. But I thought that, but then I got it, and I'm like, I don't know. They've got really good face sculpts, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I think anybody else you use these parts on, people are gonna say he looks like one of the Crimson Twins. But uh yeah, dude, if you're gonna get the if you're gonna end up with classified Tomax and Zaymot, do this. I don't know which one of the originals I bought. One of the guys in blue, but he was $9 on Amazon. The other one was 11, and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, but okay.
yeah.
But
Because they know that most people are gonna buy, they're gonna buy both, so they're gonna like,
right,
we're gonna
so
charge $2 extra and make $2 off this one guy because who wants just one of them?
yeah, yeah. Like I have one, but I'm like, you know how dumb it is to only have one of them, even if I did buy it for father and I haven't used it yet. So I'm like, so I'm not ordering the second one. I might have eventually if I hadn't gotten this. But I'm like, it really is only dumb to have one of them. I remember in the IDW, one of the GI Joe comic series is um not the Larry Hama one, but one of the other ones. They killed one of the twins off, and I'm like, what the? That's dumb. That's as dumb as J.K. Rowling killing off one of the Weasley twins. Don't kill off one of the twins. That's dumb. Um, um, Imagine that survivor's guilt. But fuck yeah, if I'm gonna have Tomax and Zaymot, damn it, they need to be in red. Holy shit, these guys are cool. I'm not gonna open up all the gear because it's mostly repaint stuff, and I don't want to lose anything. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna give you one more look at this.
Yeah,
And the hair comes off because she's got a couple different. She's got uh a different head with like a mask on it.
thought
Oh,
of it.
I'll pull them out. And she's got a different wig, so it's like wind blown, I think. Yeah. See, when I opened this set, I thought all the figures were gonna be in this. Uh yeah, you know what? I'll just open her stuff up. Oh, she has an alternate head sculpt too.
Oh, nice.
It's got a slightly different facial expression.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
and then she's got this Madam Mask sort of, I
yeah.
don't know.
I saw.
The alternate hair sculpt has
Oh,
it so she can. Yeah, she's got the wind blown hair. Um, and
let's see it. There we. Oh man,
yeah, you freaking need it, dude.
I
Um,
that's for sure.
yeah, and oh, cool. It's got Uzis, but they're gold.
Yes.
Um, and oh, gold figure stands. That's cool. And oh, her glasses are a brand new sculpt. Yeah,
Nice.
they're not the Cobra Island glasses. So,
Huh.
um, do they have? I think they have slightly tinted lenses too. Oh,
While
they do. They're
you're,
slightly yellow tinted lenses.
while you're opening that, I'm going to open my first thing.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna open all of it because I don't want to lose anything. But yeah, dude, you need this set. It's discounted. What is
Proctor
that? Oh, no
Jones
time for love, Dr. Jones. Um,
of Dr. Jones from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. The address on this box. This is the mail away from.
oh, that's from like 2000 and what, 8, 2009. When the hell did that movie come out?
Uh, I don't remember. I don't remember if I saw that in Afghanistan or if I saw that before I left for Afghanistan. Anyway, the address is Salida, so pre 2010.
I was gonna say, yeah, it might have been like 2008 then, because we
So this,
were friends at that point, but we weren't at the point yet where we were mailing stuff back and forth to each other yet. Because I remember sending stuff to Poncha Springs. I never sent anything to Slide. So
no, it's still
you've had that set for
It's
a
Poncha Springs.
um.
This
Oh,
is
okay.
this is the Crystal Skull, skeleton and throne.
Didn't wasn't there a mail away for a crystal skull from that
It.
set? Okay. Um.
This is the mail away.
Oh, that is the mail away. Oh, okay. I thought this was like a San Diego Comic Con thing.
No, this is the mail away.
I
No,
never ordered it. I only bought half of that line and I bought them all as custom fodder. I like Indiana Jones, but I didn't care about figures from it. I bought them as because at the time I was customizing Star Wars stuff, and so I bought them for parts.
I
So I
bought it.
never had a crystal skull, but
I didn't
damn, dude, you've had that for a long time.
I didn't have any of the original 3 3/4 inch Indiana Jones figures, so I was not going to miss out on this line. I have every figure from that line.
Um, yeah, I had Dr. Ilse Schneider. I had at least one of the Indiana. I had the short round figure. I
That's
had the
it.
like the like the indigenous guys. They were like
Yeah,
grave guards or something. Yeah, because they had like skull faces and they were wearing burlap sacks or something. And I had the Kate Blanchett figure with her Dora the Explorer haircut. But
I still have one in the box, so that's why I'm open. That's why I'm opening this.
oh, you ordered two of those.
Oh, I had three of them.
Oh, Jesus.
But the crystal skeleton, I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. So I don't know what happened to my because I'm as I mentioned on other shows and on my Facebook page right now, I'm putting all of my loose figures up on a wall.
He's got a lot of toys.
I got a lot of,
Um,
and I didn't have. I have this. I have a throne, but I don't have the crystal skeleton to go with it. So I had two unopened, so I'm opening one.
um, well, that's cool.
That is the mail away crystal skeleton from
Um,
fourth Indiana Jones movie.
that is pretty cool.
Yes, I love
That
translation toys.
I was gonna say, yeah, you do. Um, and you know, I look at that little throne he's sitting on. Okay, I'm just gonna mention last year, Gridiron Studios put out. There's a throne that's made of like guns and firearms of all kinds.
Yeah,
It's definitely inspired by the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones. There's a Destro comic book coming out in this summer. It's like a mini series. It's a
okay.
Destro mini series. On the cover of that comic it's Destro holding a gold AK-47 sitting on a throne that's gold. It's not made of firearms, but I took one look at that and I said, somebody likes what Gridiron Studios is doing, because until Gridiron Studios put Destro in the pictures on the throne, I had never considered what kind of chair does Destro sit in. I didn't order the throne, but it is cool. But I can't help but think that somebody is an enthusiast for Gridiron and decided, I'm drawing Destro for a comic book cover. I'm gonna put him in a gold throne. Just it's just a thought. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a coincidence. Was that all that was in the set? It was just the chair and the skeleton. Okay. I was expecting a bag of accessories. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. The classified line has taught me to look for a bag of accessories.
Well, and those
Um,
the Indiana Jones figures, they came with a shit ton of weird accessories.
yeah, they had the little cardboard crates, right? And they
Art,
all had like a little treasure item,
yeah,
but they all had like a bunch of movie accessories too.
yeah.
So I guess I was just expecting that crystal skull was gonna have something else with it.
No,
Um,
it should have, but it didn't. Um,
um,
the other thing that I'm going to open, one of the other things I'm going to open, um, I use these extensively for customs. Uh, but again, since I'm putting up all of my loose figures, um, I decided to not customize these and keep these in my collection, just because they're not particularly they're not going to get made again. Um, and I just want to have them in my collection before I can't get them again.
that makes sense.
It's the Army of Darkness, Deadite and Deadite foot soldier pack.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Um,
I really like.
Brian is a big giant nerd for the Evil Dead and all things Ash Williams.
Yes,
Um, so um,
unfortunately, there was a. I have most of the figures from this line. Unfortunately, there was a wave that only got released at, um, like one of the retailers and didn't do very well, and they are super hard to find and super
so
expensive.
it's not that it was an exclusive; it's just that only one place wound up stocking it.
I don't know.
Okay. Um,
Don't know if it was an exclusive, but yeah, they were
you can't get it for a reasonable price now.
you can't even find them, let alone for a reasonable price. Believe me, I've looked for them.
Oh, it's one of those things where even if they were out there, you don't see them on like eBay and shit very often.
Not very often, no. Uh, one of the
Oh,
things I do absolutely love about this line is the, oh yeah, that's fantastic.
dude, you fucking need this set. I'm just saying.
I know.
Um,
I've got it in a cart. I,
you
I
know, remember a few months ago when you bought Lady Loki and you said it was discounted somewhere, and I'm like, and then you're and Brian's like, yeah, come on, order it. You know you need and Brian and I got a text in our group text that said, don't enable him like that. Well, last month I got a Lady Loki figure, and well, now I'm the enabler here. Buy it, buy it, buy
so
it.
one of the things I do absolutely love about the Evil Dead line, is like the medieval weapons.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, they come with a ton of weapons. All of these sets have different weapons. They're super cool. It's worth picking up. I mean, if you're doing customs, if you're doing, getting the boss fight medieval stuff, they're uh they're super cool weapons in these packs.
Which figures are in that set?
It comes with the I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be, but I've got like half a dozen of these and I can't get them.
That's cool.
I tried
Oh, I know they were using them as a barricade.
yeah,
Um,
I
like
tried
a
a
like
bunch
a
of yeah, I tried
it's
to
like
send it to Jimbo and even Jimbo doesn't want them.
um. Oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're like a shopping cart, but it's like a
I should
riot
give
shield or
Dan Costa
something.
one. I'll bet Dan Costa would love these.
Oh yeah, he would.
He loves bridge.
Um, I, I, I think, you know, he might be the one way back when the Indiana Jones stuff came out. He might be the one I was thinking of. Somebody bought so many Indiana Jones figures, they had enough proofs of purchase to order the entire.
That was him. That
Yeah,
was
it was him. Yeah, he ordered all 12 of those sets. So he had all 12 of the crystal skeletons
yep.
in their thrones from the movie. So, all right. Yeah, he probably is the one I was thinking of then. Because I couldn't remember and I didn't want to say it, but yeah. So that set is what, a skeleton and a deadite. Did they make the pit witch in that, where she's down in the well?
Yep. I
Bruce Campbell
I took
delivers dialogue like nobody else.
I took that figure. I had it and I took it apart, and I don't know what happened to it. I never ended up using it for a custom like I wanted to, and so I'm like slowly trying to replace these. So these are super cool figures. I want to do like I know you hate top 10 lists, but I want to do a like top 10 show of like top 10 1/18 scale lines you didn't know existed, or but you should.
I like reading top 10 lists. I don't like making top 10 lists
Oh,
because I always get to like six, and then I either have too many choices to fill out the rest of the top 10 or not enough. So I hate making top 10
all
lists, but
right.
I like reading them.
All right. So I am planning on doing a top 10 toy lines that you didn't 1/18 scale toy lines that you didn't know existed. Chances are you probably did, but it's a catchy title. So these
Well,
this line is in that will be on that list. My only thing on these is they're pretty fragile, so you got to be really careful with them.
okay, she has square glasses. I just discovered she also comes with a pair of round glasses. So now her square glasses I put on her because then they fit easily. They're not going to come off. They fit perfectly in between the hair and the face. So I don't need to glue them like I did my Cobra Island version. Oh shit. I just realized she's got swappable glasses. I'm like, well shit, they didn't need to do that, but that's cool. They did. Um, what are you doing? Order this set, dude. Um this is amazing. This is amazing. Um
Because
again,
I
I'm
have
glad I didn't pay
that
full price, but shit, I'm glad I ordered it.
yeah. All right.
Um,
That was one of the things I was going to order was or open was the Deadite and the Deadite foot soldier from the Evil Dead line. Super detailed. The articulation's not bad, it's just fragile.
well, dude, they're skeletons and they're zombie. What are you
But
doing?
I mean even the non
Oh, I see.
the
What
whole
are the hands like? Is it scary to put the weapons in their hands?
yeah,
Okay, so they're a little. So they're not. They're
hey,
they're they're slightly brittle plastic. Then.
they're pegged. So there's a small ball peg coming off that
Oh,
the hands peg onto, and it's just
oh, that's scary. So basically, all those extra weapons they come with, use them with the Vitruvian hacks line.
yeah.
Don't swap them out of your Evil Dead figures. You'll break it.
Uh,
Um,
well, just be very careful with it.
I was gonna say, so boiling them or heating them up isn't gonna help because it's not that kind of plastic either.
It might, but yeah, there you go. This
It
is
looks badass at
oh yeah,
least.
this particular figure is the one I use for our like my zombie Boba Fett and stormtroopers.
Oh, how many of those did you have? Because yeah, you made a few of those.
I've done 5 for commissions.
Is that the last set you had that was just your collection set?
Yeah, yeah, because I was so like I said earlier in the show, I was working on the Sardaukar after the first Dune movie.
Yeah.
Like find the fucking figure. I couldn't find the I couldn't find the custom. I mean, it was done. I just had to
Oh,
paint the unmasked head. And shout out to Panama for finding the head, and shout out to previous guest Edward Aaron for casting the up for me. Those two guys really helped me out finishing that project out. So shout out to those guys. Um,
I've lost
but
customs.
I came across this set still boxed while I was looking for the custom this morning.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't even know I had it. Uh,
Um,
I am buying more because I am doing figures again for the Make-A-Wish Foundation for to donate to the Make-A-Wish Foundation this summer for Denver Fan Expo.
good call. Yeah, I like these storage boxes for the accessories.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I'm gonna see. I don't know what the twins come with. I have a feeling Baroness probably got the lion's share of accessories for this set. They tricked this Baroness out. If they don't repaint this Baroness eventually in traditional colors for another release, I'll be shocked. Um, yeah, all right. So,
All right. I never thought I would open this one, but I'm going to.
oh shit. Oh, ooh, ooh.
Uh,
Was that the first figure subscription service or the second? Because I subscribed to the first two and then I stopped
first,
subscribing because they were expensive.
first. This was the bonus figure for the first one.
Um, okay.
I am super disappointed that they never really reused this mold because this was the mold they were going to use for the City Strike Scarlet that never got made. That is an absolutely amazing figure.
You liked it so much, you made a custom of it.
I did make a custom of it, and unfortunately, I could not get this particular buck to make that with because they really never reused this figure in anything.
Um,
At least not anything that was reasonably priced.
yeah, because I was gonna say, I think the Resolute box set was had that Scarlet, and then they used it for Jinx, and then they used it for Marissa Fairborn.
Yes, I'm
Um,
going to mention that they used it for Marissa Fairborn because I opened my Marissa Fairborn recently.
yeah, and I think that's it. Um, all right, so here's the other funny thing about the Crimson Twins. Since I was a little kid, I can't tell you which one has the scar and which one doesn't. And it doesn't really matter how many times I've seen them identified. It's one of those things where I learn it and then it goes out the window or it goes in one ear and out the other and I forget all over again. So basically what it comes down to is I've got the one without the scar because and I couldn't even remember that because the one that I have, the blue one, has the sash going this way. So okay, I don't know which twin it is, but I didn't get the one. Yeah, the one with the scar was the more expensive one. I don't know which is which.
I don't
Don't bother
remember.
to tell me. I won't remember. Um, um,
But if you want to put it in the comments below, please do.
yeah, please do. So I'll read it and then forget again. It'll be great. I'm pretty sure over the last 40 years, 39 years since the Tomax and Zaymot were introduced, I'm pretty sure I've known which one had the scar. I think I've learned it probably 20 times. And then I forget again. I've had multiple versions of those guys over the years. You know, they had the new sculpt version, they had the originals, then the repaints of them. For the 2002 Real American Hero collection, and I had the modern versions. And you know, at this point, I don't think I'm ever gonna remember which one is which. It's fine.
Yeah,
I always loved
but
the
I could.
gimmick that Tomax and Zaymot were the same name but reversed. But that's about all I need to know.
All right, so she comes with more gear than she can hold.
Oh, you hate that.
I hate that. The sword clips onto the leg, which is pretty cool. She comes with a pair of nunchucks, and then the arm, like sword.
Tonfa swords
Yeah,
or
like kind of.
tonfas.
Yeah, kind of. But
Are
they've
they? Oh,
no, not quite because they've got the arm braces.
Oh, okay.
Kind of
Oh,
this, but not
very similar to what classified Helix comes with then.
pretty
The
close.
okay, yeah.
Um, these are the these two weapons would have come with the City Strike Scarlet. I did not know
Ah,
they were in there.
ah.
So
Um,
I'm kind of surprised. I really wish this figure hadn't been so rare and hadn't been so expensive because I would have liked to have used the buck for the City Strike Scarlet custom. And I really wish that was a figure that had gotten released.
that is a really nice figure. It's a cool update to the Valor versus Venom Jinx, which was a different design from her classic,
Yeah.
but I would argue that it was just as cool. And it's nice to see that get a modern update. And it was updated, I think, was it before? No, it was after Hasbro updated version 1, right? For the
I
San
don't
Diego comic. I
I
don't
don't
know.
she also comes
But
with the Mac 10 that came with Mutt.
okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is the ninjas need firearms too, damn it.
I
They're
absolutely
assassins.
I absolutely love this particular version of Jinx. This is my favorite version. Uh so I'm super happy to have that in my collection and it is free of its plastic prison finally.
Um, yeah. You'll put her on the shelf later.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing this is all my loose figures are going up on the shelf.
Um, the
So on that note, this is still sealed. Still has manufacturer sealed tape on it.
uh the Crimson Twin, I was right. They only come with limited gear. They come with was it
Five.
MP5 something.
Yeah,
Okay, they're
55.
gold, which is cool, but I actually kind of wish that this box set had had the Sunbow style uh pistols because um the Valkyries came with those, and I wish that
I hate
because the
I
25th anniversary set of the of Tomax and Zaymot came with the cartoon like the Sunbow style pistols, and I love those guns, and I wish they'd come with this set like this too. But I also wish they'd had the Cobra pistols in gold. But I know Brian sent me a bunch of them because he's collecting them from figures he doesn't like. I love them. I like all my Cobras to have the little Sunbow style
yeah,
pistols.
I just sent you like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I love them. So but I kind of wish that it came with those in gold too. But you know what? Baroness comes with so much cool stuff. I can forgive it. It's cool.
You know, as many as I sent you, you're going to be able to customize some.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I've got some gold spray paint that covers beautifully, and yeah, they're gonna have some gold Sunbow style pistols. Um,
2012 San Diego Comic-Con Jinx Arashikage.
you know, one of our 16 listeners that are watching this is gonna cry that you're opening that,
No.
and I'm gonna say, you know what? You should open yours too. Whoever you are, you should open yours too. Um, I have the red version from San Diego Comic. I never got the white version with the because mine had the mask. Mine didn't. It wasn't unmasked. So, um, but if I'm not mistaken, she's got the movie Jinx like this, right? Like Elodie Young. I think she's got her head sculpt, right?
So I don't know.
Um, I'm testing my memory more than anything else. Yeah, because the uh the retaliation Jinx figure that they put out was a repaint of that in the black and yellow from the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it didn't include the Elodie Young head, but
I
the
need I need another
Comic Con version did.
custom that that retaliation Jinx in yellow.
Yeah,
I need one for a custom because I found the perfect head to do a 3 3/4 inch version of the classified Vipra figure.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is a super cool figure. I love the head sculpt.
Yeah, put your hand behind it. Let me see it. Yeah, that's a really good head sculpt. Oh, that's a pretty badass ponytail she had. It looks like she could whip that around and use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just saying.
they
Um,
did a really good job on this figure. I really dig it.
um,
And we're not done yet. We're gonna go for the trifecta, the Jinx trifecta here. And we're gonna open the other 2012 San Diego Comic-Con Jinx.
yeah, that's the one that I've got. I opened it last year. My bubble, the bubble is all messed up on it, so I'm like, oh, guess I gotta open it. Um,
It's still sealed. I mean, it's taped shut, so I didn't
no,
even.
I mean the bubble inside of it
Yeah, no, I
was
know. I know what you mean. I'm just saying mine is still taped
oh,
shut.
okay.
That I haven't even opened the pack that it came in. Because yeah, it's still got the factory tape on it.
Oh, it's got the embossed GI Joe logo on. Oh, that's cool. I don't. I opened mine a while ago. I don't remember. So, um,
Yeah, it's got the GI Joe star cases, which are super hard to find.
do they work for your customs that you make that you put on the cards? Okay, so you'll reuse those for customs. Um,
I won't use the. Yeah, I might. Um, but yeah, they work just fine for my customs
that's cool.
because my cards are the same, exact same size as GI Joe cards. They're 6x9.
Um,
And if you want to learn how to make your own cards, check out the look elsewhere in the YouTube video because I have a series on how to make cards.
just have, you have to have a decent printer. Um,
I have mine custom printed.
I
I
mean, you have to have a decent printer that will do it, not a home printer. I mean,
yes,
because they've got to be high quality because I just remember those retro GI Joe figures that Walmart did a couple of years ago were just they were flimsy, they were shitty print quality. So even if the cards had been decent quality, they looked like crap, and the bubbles were not properly attached to. It was terrible. Basically, when Brian's professional printer does a better job making cards than Hasbro's factories do. Um,
and I talk about and address all of those problems in those videos.
yeah, because I have the Walmart Retro, the classic, or the retro classified Lady J, Gung Ho, Baroness, and Destro, and those cards were shit. They
Yeah,
were shit, just like the retro 4-inch figures were. So
yeah.
they
I,
did say the new retro Duke, Recondo, Scarlet, all those, they're gonna come with the thick cardstock that the retro like the Spider-Man figures come out in. So they're not bendy. So that's good because uh
I don't
carded
care.
collectors
The ones that
really got
I'm gonna
shafted on those.
open. I'm getting that Recondo the second it comes out because Recondo was definitely on the list of my favorite figures as a kid, and I have zero use for the Tiger Force Recondo. I want the original color scheme, so the second that comes out, I am getting it. So there is 2012
Badass.
Comic Con Jinx.
Um, I had the original condo when I was a kid. I found it very boring. I liked the Tiger Force version that came with the Tiger Force repaint of the Dragonfly. So much better. Brian and I differ on that greatly. Um, some tan safari figure versus safari figure in other colors.
No, I absolutely detest that figure. All
Um,
right, I think that puts us right at 2 hours there, man.
I'm yeah. I It's nice to podcast again. You've been pretty busy lately, so
Yeah,
um,
I've been busy with work. They put me back on the ambulance for a while to get cleared doing 911 stuff, but I got that taken care of, and now I'm back doing the community paramedic stuff. So
um, yeah, that's good because you weren't talking a lot. I had a feeling you were going stir crazy. So
I did not enjoy that. I don't. I've been doing this almost 30 years. I don't want to be on the ambulance anymore.
you guys went to Mexico to celebrate your anniversary early, and I feel like that was as much about getting the hell away from work as it was celebrating your anniversary.
Absolutely,
Did
100%.
you drink the water when you were in Mexico? Good, because you got sick anyways, but not from that.
No,
Um, but all right, well, we'll be back in the near future with another episode. Um,
absolutely. So, as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. If you have suggestions on stuff that you'd like to see on the show, if you'd like to be on the show, if there's people, customizers or collectors or anybody that you'd like to see on the show that you think we can get on the show, let us know. We have definitely asked people to be on the show and they've said no, or can't get it scheduled. But most of the time, we can usually get people on the show. So,
and we like having guests.
absolutely.
Really, it's been a while since we had a guest simply because a lot of times when we do this show, because one of us will say, "Hey, want to do this? Yeah, let's do that later in the day." So, um,
Pretty short notice. I mean, that's why we never have it's all stream of consciousness on the show, is because we just never have a plan. But I think that lends well to what we do.
I agree. I mean, people are here for the amazing conversation. Um,
100%. All right. So I think that's about it for this particular episode. I will probably upload this at work tomorrow. So it will not upload at my house overnight. So
it it's like back in the '90s when you were trying to download a movie trailer through QuickTime. It would take all night, and then in the morning you'd check, and maybe it was downloaded. Maybe it was. That's like uploading on YouTube at your house. So,
yeah.
um,
So yeah.
all right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, bye.